I was bent over, reaching into the car, holding onto the head of the passenger as he sat there, and the car was smashed, but he was doing okay. And I kind of came up for air, and I looked around, and as usual, there was just a huge stretch of traffic backed up for miles. In fact, our ambulance had had to negotiate past them just to get to the accident scene, and the truth was that everybody was okay. It's really painful. Why do people need to rubberneck? Hi, this is Mark Silver with Heart of Business, and I want to talk about the car wreck of being authentic. You may not know, but I spent 8 years as a paramedic, and so I was able to see a lot of experiences where people just had to rubberneck looking at these accidents. And me and my partners always used to complain, why? All these people, there's nothing to see here, folks. And then I started to read about human development. And the truth is that we're hardwired to look at a mess. Why am I talking about this? Well, here's the thing. A lot of the advice out there when you start blogging or you start writing for your business, you start writing articles, you start expressing yourself, is to be authentic. People want you to be authentic, and this is absolutely true. Of course, be authentic. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your own voice. We want to connect with who you are. All your quirks and your humor and whoever, we want to know that there's a human being to connect to. However, what happens is that sometimes people take this idea of being authentic and use it as a way to just express every little thing that comes up for them. Express all of the messes and all of the fears and all of the frustrations. And this can be a disaster. It can create a car wreck in your business. What I mean is that if you are talking about something that you are good at, and you're talking about your own fears and frustrations about it, just unedited, just as a mess, uncleaned up, it's not going to build trust. People need to rubberneck. We're trained to rubberneck and look at car wrecks because there was a time on this planet when other animals used to eat us on a fairly regular basis. And it was a survival trait to watch what had happened so that we could avoid it next time. That's why we like to look at wrecks, because we want to know, the reptilian part of our brain wants to know, can I avoid this next time? And how can I avoid this next time? That's what we're thinking. So when you start being authentic in that car wreck kind of way, what happens is you do start to get attention. People do start watching you, but it doesn't help your business. It doesn't help your business at all. In fact, it may be doing just the opposite. People sometimes get a tremendous amount of views on what they're doing without really gaining any clients because of this approach. So what do you do instead? First thing you do is you take a breath and you remember that you're of service, that this is not about self-expression entirely. That's not the sole intention. The intention is to be of service to others, to be there so that you can offer what you have in ways that people can actually use it. I get into car wrecks all the time in my business. There's all kinds of things I bump into, but I have my own support network. I have healers, I have consultants, I have my team, I have my mastermind group, and we resolve those and clean them up and move on, and the business keeps working. You don't need to see it every time I hit a bump, right? Because we know how to handle it. But what I do is I end up sharing some of those places where I've run into problems after it's been cleaned up somewhat, and I have the way through. How did I clean up this mess? If you help parents with unruly children, then the last time you got through a real tantrum from one of your own kids, then you can write about the tantrum and the mess and some of your freak out about it, as long as you're also talking about, and this is how I handled it, and this is how I managed myself, and this is how I moved through it. Because then it comes from a place not of pure self-expression, but of service, being of service. Really, really, really critical distinction here. give yourself some time from a mess to clean it up so that you can make it of service. There is one notable exception. If the mess happens, or the mess up, or whatever it is, the car wreck happens, and it doesn't have to do with your core competency, it doesn't have to do with what your business is about, then you can be as messy as you want. I made a video a couple years ago for the holidays where I was playing a guitar, and I don't really play the guitar very well, and at the time I played the guitar miserably, and I was fumbling through chords and I couldn't really make the song work, and I'm like, oh, just totally messed it up. And the point of the video was not only to wish people happy holidays and to have fun and to loosen up, but also that it's okay to be a beginner at some things. And so it's okay for me to be a beginner at a guitar because it doesn't shake people's confidence in me as someone who can help them with their business. But please don't come to me for guitar lessons. So I hope that this has been really helpful for you to move forward with being authentic, but also being of service and continuing to deepen trust with the people who really are waiting to get help from you. This has been Mark Silver with Heart of Business, and I wish the very best to you and your business.